Are you feeling disillusioned about the perspective you grew up with, but also feel hesitant about putting your trust and loyalty in anything else? You might be losing your way in deconstruction. Deconstruction is about questioning and taking a long, hard, and honest look about some of your fundamental understandings. But it's because you're dealing with something so personal and meaningful that it is quite common to end up bitter with people and groups, especially when you start seeing their flaws. And this is especially true if you have ended up in the deconstruction space without conscious choice. Bitterness towards people is a big warning sign that you are losing your way in deconstruction. One reason we could end up bitter at people or groups we once trusted is because they represent something we now feel disillusioned about. Thus, we feel they are perpetuating the problem. I think it's helpful to understand, though, that most people live in homeostasis, a familiar balance that may or may not be healthy, but at least it's something that they can navigate. And when you're in deconstruction, this contentment with the norm can seem distasteful or naive. However difficult it may be, it is useful to consider that living in homeostasis is okay and normal. It is not your responsibility to open the eyes of everyone around you, nor is it their responsibility to restore your peace or take on your crusade. This is your inner struggle, and projecting it onto the outside world often leads to regret and bitterness. One thing that can emerge from being lost in deconstruction for too long is turning doubt into a virtue, or throwing out truth altogether. This misses the goal of deconstruction by being possessed by a single revelation rather than integrating it into a balanced ecosystem. You are essentially becoming the thing you despise, shallow and naive. The reality of the situation is that lashing out in these manners doesn't make any sense. Since deconstruction is an inner process that started internally, it must be ended internally. To avoid getting lost, it is important to remember that deconstruction is meant to be temporary and for a specific purpose, which is to bring warring sides of yourself into better integration. During this time, you are the aberration, and that's okay because it's temporary. And if you take the time to put serious thought into who you want to be on the other side of this going forward, you can avoid incorporating these kind of pitfalls into the person you're becoming. So if you would like to learn more about deconstruction and reconstruction, you could check out our other videos on our integrated thought playlist. So I hope that helped, and I hope to see you in another video.